Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named the Pier Paolo Pasolini murder, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It was a cold November night in 1975 when tragedy struck on the outskirts of Rome. The narrow streets of Ostia, usually calm and deserted at that hour, became the backdrop for one of Italy's most chilling and controversial crimes. A black Alfa Romeo sped through the darkness, its engine roaring like a beast on the hunt. Inside, two men argued, one desperate, the other filled with fear. Pier Paolo Pasolini, a renowned Italian filmmaker, poet, and outspoken intellectual, was at the peak of his career, but fame had not come without its enemies. Known for his provocative films and scathing critiques of the political system, Pasolini had stirred up more trouble than most dared to imagine. His art was fearless, exposing corruption, hypocrisy, and the dark underbelly of Italian society. He had made many enemies, and some believed that his time was running out. That night, it did. The meeting. Pasolini had driven to meet someone, a young man named Giuseppe Paolozzi, known on the streets as Pino. Pasolini had met him by chance, a fragile thread of fate intertwining their lives in the most sinister way. Pino was a troubled boy, barely 17, with a history of petty crimes and a life spent in the shadows. But there was something strange about their encounter that night. It wasn't random, not at all. Pasolini wasn't just there for Pino, he was chasing something far bigger, something that could change everything. A set of stolen film reels. Those reels held secrets, powerful secrets that many would kill to keep buried. Pasolini had been investigating something dark and dangerous for months. He believed those reels contained proof of political corruption at the highest level. If exposed, it would shake Italy to its core. But the meeting didn't go as planned. The crime scene. Hours later, Pasolini's lifeless body was found near the beach in Ostia. His face was unrecognizable, beaten beyond recognition. His body bore the marks of a savage attack, broken bones, deep bruises, and cuts all over his torso. The Alfa Romeo he had driven was found nearby, blood-stained and damaged, as if it had been used to run him over. The police were quick to act. Within hours, they arrested Giuseppe Paolozzi, who confessed to the murder almost immediately. He claimed that an argument had broken out between him and Pasolini, and things had escalated. He said he had killed the filmmaker in a fit of rage. The confession was enough to secure a conviction, and Pino was sentenced to prison. But the story didn't end there. Not even close. A web of lies and secrets. Years later, Paolozzi would change his story. He retracted his confession, revealing something far more chilling. He hadn't killed Pasolini, not alone, at least. He claimed that a group of unknown men had attacked Pasolini, beating him mercilessly while Paolozzi watched, powerless to stop them. According to him, these men were part of a political conspiracy. Pasolini had gotten too close to the truth, and they had silenced him. This revelation sent shockwaves through Italy. Was Pasolini's murder a random act of violence, or was it an orchestrated political assassination? The evidence seemed to support the latter. The brutality of the attack, the stolen film reels, the political enemies Pasolini had made, it all pointed to something much larger than a simple argument gone wrong. And yet, the truth remained elusive. The twists unfold. Over the years, countless theories emerged. Some believed that Pasolini had uncovered a political scandal involving high-ranking officials. Others thought the mafia had been involved, fearing that Pasolini's investigations would expose their operations. Each theory was more sinister than the last. Witnesses came forward with strange accounts of that night, shadowy figures seen near the crime scene, mysterious phone calls made in the hours leading up to the murder. Some even suggested that Pasolini had been lured to Ostia deliberately, led into a trap from which there was no escape. But the most haunting detail? The missing film reels were never found. The legacy of a mystery. Pasolini's death left a void in Italian culture, but his legacy endured. His films continued to inspire, his writings continued to provoke, and his murder remained an open wound in the heart of Italy. Investigations into the case were reopened multiple times, each one uncovering new layers of the mystery but never reaching a definitive conclusion. Paolo, now a man in his 60s, still insists that he wasn't the sole perpetrator. His eyes carry the weight of secrets too dark to reveal. "There are things I'll take to my grave," he once said in an interview, his voice trembling with the burden of the past. The truth about Pasolini's murder may never be known. Was it a crime of passion, a political hit, or something even darker? One thing is certain, Pier Paolo Pasolini's story didn't end with his death. It lives on, haunting those who dare to seek the truth, a puzzle that refuses to be solved. And friends, that's the story of the Pier Paolo Pasolini murder. A tale full of twists, mystery, and unanswered questions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Goodbye.